This is the L2C Media Network, and this is the Sports Final with Steve Baxley, brought to you by the L2C Media Network. And now, here he is with a logo so bright they had to wear shades. Steve, the Baxman Baxley. Hello, good evening. Welcome to the broadcast, and oh boy, grab yourself a mimosa, folks, because we have a huge, thank you very much. We got a sports final for you tonight. First of all, how do you like the new look? I know it needed a little something removed, so we just simply call it the sports final. But oh man, today we had everything: the Kentucky Derby and a wrestling event to end all wrestling events. Let's get ready and let's give it to you straight details of those headlines. All right, everybody. And let's just get to it. The NFL story is vast and it is concise. Let's go to it. First of all, some good news. Jadeveon Clowney has just found a home after spending all off season wondering who's going to take him. Well, guess what? With the Tennessee Titans, Diana Rossini reports that the one-year deal is believed to be worth $12 million. And according to Pro Football Talk, Clowney be reunited in Tennessee with Mike Vrabel, who was on the Texans staff during Clowney's first 3 seasons. Vrabel recently confirmed that the Titans had reached out to Clowney's agent. Hunt has never had more than $12 million on the table during negotiations, according to Jason La Canfora, the CBS NFL insider, who also added that while the Titans were the most consistent player throughout the process, the Browns were also aiming for Clowney, offering around $12 million. He was reportedly aiming for that. It was also recently reported that the Saints had made a push to sign Clowney before the start of the regular season. Seattle was reportedly also keeping tabs on Clowney, who played well during his only season with the club. Now, after injuries wiped out most of his rookie season, Clowney, the number 1 overall pick in the 2014 draft, bounced back in 2015, recording 4.5 sacks and 8 tackles for loss in 13 games, or 9 starts. Clowney earned the first of 3 consecutive Pro Bowl selections in 2016 while becoming a regular starter on the Texans defense. During that span, Clowney averaged just over 8 sacks, 53 tackles, and 18 tackles per loss per season. He also forced 4 fumbles while recovering 6 forced fumbles. Clowney put up some solid numbers in 2019, his only season in Seattle, while his 3 sacks were his lowest total in a season since his rookie year. Clowney posted a career-high 4 forced fumbles while returning one of his 2 fumble recoveries for a touchdown. He also returned his first career interception for a touchdown. Now, Clowney also played well in Seattle's 2 playoff games, recording 1.5 sacks, 9 tackles, and 3 tackles for a loss. He is now joining a Titans team that is looking to build off their impressive run to the AFC Championship game this past January. Now, this offseason, the Titans came to extension. They also came to terms on the extension for Derrick Henry, last year's rushing champion. And they, of course, further bolstered its roster during the draft, spending the 29th overall pick on Isaiah Wilson to help fill the hole left by Jack Conklin at right tackle. At right tackle. The Titans were able to acquire former LSU Tiger Christian Fulton, one of the top-ranked defensive backs in the draft, with their 61st overall pick. Now, let's get ready. Let's get set. And as the TV goes dark, so I do not get a copyright strike. You know what time it is. That's right. We said we'd have it, and we got it. It is time for cut day. Let's see who got sent home, and if they were a mistake or a bloop on the way to paradise or the Super Bowl. All right, let's go to the AFC East. The Buffalo Bills. The players were kicker Steven Hauschka, punter Lachlan Edwards, PR KR Andre Roberts, linebacker Vosan Joseph, linebackers Vosan Joseph and Corey Thompson, tight end Jason Kroom, running back Antonio Williams, cornerback Cam Lewis, linebacker Andre Smith, offensive lineman Brandon Walton, wide receiver Duke Williams, defensive end Brian Cox Jr., defense tackle Vincent Taylor, defensive back Brian Allen, tight end Nate Becker, offensive liners Evan Boehm and Markel Harrell, Victor Salaco, Wade, and defensive coach Justin Zimmer. Dolphins, they cut quarterback Josh Rosen, safety Jeremiah Denson, defensive end Avery Moss, cornerback Dietrich Nichols, wide receiver Ricardo Lewis, Chester Rogers, Andy Jones, Matt Cole, Kirk Merritt, Gary Jennings, defensive end and linebacker Trent Harris, running back Salvon Ahmad, cornerback Breon Borders, defensive tackle Brandon Bryant, offensive lineman Shaq Calhoun, Jonathan Hubbard, Danny Isadora, Keaton Sutherland. All right. Wide receiver, of course, Matt Cole, cornerback Tay Hayes, defensive back Nate Holly, offensive line Jonathan Hubbard, offensive line Danny Isadora, wide receiver Gary Jennings, Kylan Johnson, linebacker, Benito Jones, defensive tackle, Kurt Merritt, wide receiver, tight end Chris Myrick, defensive tackle Durval Quieras Nito, defensive end Tayshawn Render, offensive lineman Keaton Sutherland, cornerback Ken Webster, tight end Nate Weeding, and defensive back Snake Brooks, and running back Kalen Ballage. Hey, the Patriots, you know they were hurting. And let's Jeff Thomas, Andre Bakasilia, Devin Ross, Isaiah Zuber, cornerback Michael Jackson, Miles Bryant, D'Angelo Ross, defensive lineman Michael Tayshawn Bauer, Xavier Williams, offensive lineman Ben Braden, Tyler Gauthier. Let's see, there you go. Running back Lamar Miller, linebacker Therese Hall, fullback Paul Quisenberry, defensive lineman Nick Thurman. Already mentioned some of the cornerbacks. Tight end, defensive end Rashad Berry. Mentioned some of the defensive linemen. Tight end Jake Burke, kicker Nick Folk, linebacker Scooter Harris, Cash Maluya, defensive lineman Bill Murray, kicker Justin Rohrwasser, wide receiver Devin Ross, running back J.J. Taylor, Xavier Williams, the defensive lineman, and wide receiver Isaiah Zuber. Jets got rid of quarterback Mike White, linebacker James Burgess, offensive lineman Jonathan Harris, cornerback Lamar Jackson, cornerback Nate Harrison, quarterback Zane Lewis, wide receiver Lawrence Cager, Jehu Chesson, cornerback Javelin Guidry, Offensive lineman Jared Hilbers, tight end Campbell and Josh Malone, and DJ Montgomery. Tight ends Daniel Brown, Bronson Kafuzzi. Offensive lineman Josh Andrews, Jared Hibbins, Corbin Kafuzzi, Brad Lundblad, and offensive lineman Jimmy Murray. Defensive back Shyam Carter, Mathis Farley, and defensive back Bennett Jackson. Over at the Ravens, tight end Gerald Adams, linebacker Aaron Adioy, defensive back Terrell Bonds, offensive lineman Tristan Colin Castillo, defensive tackle Aaron Crawford, defensive back Khalil Dorsey, offensive lineman Parker Anger, offensive lineman Will Holden, quarterback Tyler Hunt, hunchback Jordan Richards, defensive end Chauncey Rivers, tight end Charles Sharaf, punter Johnny Townsend, defensive Eli Wolf. Cincinnati Bengals got rid of quarterback Brandon Allen, defensive tackle Freedom Akin Mullenden, defensive end Amani Bledsoe, defensive tackle Trey Deshawn, quarterback Jake Dolgala, tight end Jordan Franks, defensive end Kendall Futrell, left safety Dan Goodsill, safety Trayvon Henderson, wide receiver Trent Irwin, offensive tackle Josh Kniffel, wide receiver DeMarcus Lodge, cornerback Greg Maben, center Frederick Mauigoa, defensive tackle Khalil McKenzie, cornerback Tory McTyler, wide receiver Stanley Morgan, halfback Jux Patrick, cornerback Winston Rose, tight end Mason Schreck, safety Maurice Smith, linebacker Marcel Spears Jr., wide receiver Scotty Washington, tight end Mitchell Wilcox. For the Cleveland Browns, and we'll do the Pittsburgh Steelers, and tomorrow we will bring you part 2. Cleveland Browns, quarterback Kevin Davidson, quarterback Garrett Gilbert, running back Dontrell Hillard, running back Benny May, fullback Johnny Stanton, wide receiver Jamarcus Bradley, wide receiver Damon Ratley, wide receiver Taywon Taylor, offensive lineman Brady Aiello, offensive lineman Alec Taylor, offensive lineman John Toth, offensive lineman Michael Dunn, offensive lineman Willie Wright, defensive end Robert McCray, defensive end Chad Thomas, defensive tackle Daniel Ekuli, linebacker Salman Ajay, linebacker Willie Harvey, linebacker Montrell Meander, cornerbacks A.J. Green, Robert Jackson, Donovan Olumba, safeties Elijah Benton, and Javante Moffett. And for the Pittsburgh Steelers, here we go. Linebacker Tazar Skipper, tight end Kyle Markway, defensive tackle Kayvon Walker, defensive back Trajan Bandy, wide receiver Ryan Switzer, defensive lineman Daniel McCullers, defensive back Antoine, running back Wendell Smallwood, wide receiver Saeed Blacknall, wide receiver DeAndre Tompkins, wide receiver Deion Kane, wide receiver Amara Darbo, offensive lineman Christian DeLaro, offensive lineman John Quinoy, offensive lineman Derwin Gray, Henry Mondo, defensive line Calvin Taylor, linebacker J. Ron Elliott, and defensive back John Battle will tackle the AFC South and the rest of the NFC. And I'll tackle the rest of the NFC side of things tomorrow, same time, same place. So you got us, and we got you covered. Saturday and Sunday. We're cutting. That's right. We're cutting and strutting. Okay, let's keep on going and going. And more NFL news. The Las Vegas Raiders trade their third round pick, Lynn Bowden Jr., to the Miami Dolphins in a surprise move. That's right. In exchange for a 2021 fourth-round pick, according to Ian Rappaport of the NFL Network. The 80th overall pick in this year's draft, the 5'11", 204-pound Bowen was extremely versatile during his time in 15 touchdowns while averaging 7.9 yards per carry. Along with seeing some time at quarterback, Bowden made a significant impact on special teams, returning 2 punt returns for scores during his sophomore campaign. During day 2 of this year's draft. Last month, Las Vegas's offensive coordinator Greg Olson alluded to Bowden possibly getting some time at quarterback this fall. And unfortunately, Bowden will now look to make his impact felt in Miami, a team that is looking to make a splash during Brian Flores' second season in South Beach after a 2-9 start, behind win over the Patriots in the season finale. Now, during the draft, the Dolphins were able to select former Alabama quarterback Tua Tagovailoa with the 5th overall pick. The team also drafted offensive lineman Austin Jackson and Solomon Kindley, along with Noah Igbinoghene, who is slated to be Miami's starting nickel cornerback when Miami kicks off the season against the Patriots. Bowden will look to compete for playing time alongside Matt Breida and Jordan Howard, a 4-year veteran. Breida averaged 5 yards per carry during his time in San Francisco. He averaged 5.1 yards per carry last season while helping the 49ers win the NFC title. Howard, a 5-year veteran, earned Pro Bowl honors as a rookie after rushing for 13 yards and 6 touchdowns for the Bears. All right. And we're going to keep the happiest going by switching gears from the NFL to the NBA. But that's coming up in a little bit. We're on the air till about 1:15. So right now, let's go to some NBA news. Here we go. And here we go. Raptors, they are back after going 2-0. After going down 2-0 to the Celtics in their second round series. The Raptors won Game 3 in miracle fashion, then held off the Celtics to take Game 4, 100-93. And all of a sudden, the series is tied up at 2-2. And Toronto, the defending champions, have all the mo. That's right, they got the momentum. Pascal Siakam, while Kyle Lowry was strong as well, finishing with 22 points, 11 rebounds, and 7 assists. The Raptors dominated the three-point battle in this one, knocking down 17 of their 44 attempts. Jason Tatum led the way for Boston, putting up 24 points and 10 rebounds, but they really struggled on the offensive end as a team. In particular, they were a disaster from the three-point, shooting 7 for 35, which was their worst outside shooting performance in the playoffs. The role this season with Kawhi Leonard gone to the Clippers, and he handled it well in the regular season. The playoffs, however, have been a different story. He was fine, though not super impressive against the Nets in the first round, and he really struggled in the first 3 games of this series. On Saturday night, however, he finally manned up and delivered. After averaging 15.3 points in games 1-3, Siakam went for 23 points and 11 rebounds on 10 of 23 from the field in Game 4. It wasn't a terribly efficient performance, but simply getting that kind of production from him mattered more than his shooting percentage. Now, the Raptors were 5th in the league in three-point percentage in the regular season, hitting 37.4% of their attempts. But over the first 3 games, they couldn't buy a shot from downtown in 34 of 120 or 28.3%, nearly 10 percentage points lower than the regular season average. But in Game 3, they found their groove, led by Serge Ibaka, 4 for 4, Fred VanVleet, 5 of 11, and Kyle Lowry, 4 of 10. The Raptors hit 17 of their 44 triples. Not only was it the best shooting game of the series by far, from the three-point line. And that was because the Celtics had their worst shooting game of the playoffs. They went 7 of 35, with Jaylen Brown being the only member of the team to hit multiple threes. In fact, he went 2 of 11 from deep and somehow still finished with the best three-point percentage, 18.2, among starters. Kemba Walker, Marcus, prolific on the offensive glass in this game, with the Raptors grabbing 8 offensive rebounds and the Celtics only pulling down 6. Hi. Can you just keep going? Yes, thank you. And for the playoffs, the Houston Rockets are the only team still alive that does less damage in this department. In other words, they got every single possible second chance point. Well, let's try that again. Considering those numbers, you wouldn't expect second chance points to be much of a big deal. But the Raptors were clinical in taking advantage of their extra chances, turning those 8 offensive rebounds into 24 second chance points. They averaged 3 points per offensive rebound. In other words, they got every single possible second chance point. Not only was it their best performance in that category in the playoffs, it was their second best all season long. Along with a 30-point advantage at the three-point line, the Raptors had a 12-point edge in second chance points. Now, that's how you win a playoff game when you shoot 39% from the field overall. Raptors over the Celtics, 100-93. That's what you call scoring it big. Let's take a look at the rest of the NBA scores in playoff world over there in hot Orlando. Our second game, well, Denver came back. And, oh, baby, came back good. Nuggets, the Denver Nuggets defeated the Los Angeles Clippers 110-101 to tie up the series at 1 apiece. Murray for Denver, 27 points, 3 rebounds, 6 assists. George for the Clips, 22 points, 8 rebounds, and 3 assists. We go now from the NBA, from the hardwood to the hard ice, or hard synthetic ice, however you want to say that. And the NHL brackets are now complete for the Western and Eastern Conference. Let's give you the rundown, kids. Here we go. Here we go with the rundown of who's going to play in the Western and Eastern Conference Finals. And wow, what a night it were. All right, the Final Four are going to be the Golden Knights. Hello, would you? Thank you. The Golden Knights taking on the Dallas Stars, while the Tampa Bay Lightning will take on the New York Islanders. How did this happen? This exciting matchup. And boy, was it good. And New York beat Philadelphia to take the series 4 games to 3. 4-0 was the final score. Stars of the game: Nelson for New York Islanders, Grice for the Islanders, the center Nelson, goalie Grice, and right winger Bailey were your 3-star selections right there. 4-0 Islanders over the Flyers. And for that, it's time to go to Edmonton. Yep, Toronto say bye-bye. So Edmonton, you got yourself 4 good ones. And let's see the playoff viewing information, if we got it. Yes, we do. No, we don't. Okay. Well, anyway, just to give you the thumbs up, the next rounds will be on... Okay. We got the next rounds. When are the next rounds? You may be asking yourself. Well, we're going to tell you what the next rounds are right here, right now. Everything is now down to the Final Four. And whoo boy, we got some nice ones for the Final Four. Let's tell you all about them once we have this opportunity, this chance to get down to the Western and Eastern Conference Finals. We have Game 1 of the Eastern Conference Final. Oh, good. Lightning will play the Islanders in a series in Edmonton. Here's how all the action will take place. Well, we can only give you one game, and that is it'll be Monday, September 7th, between the Tampa Bay Lightning and New York Islanders. Game time 8 p.m. Eastern. It'll be televised nationwide on NBCSN in the U.S. and the Sportsnet, CBC, and TVA Sports in Canada. Now, the full schedule for the 2020 conference finals will be announced as soon as everything is confirmed. So, while we have one date, we got to have them all. So, stand by here on the Sports Final for all the latest. All right, we go from one extreme insult to the other. That's right. Here we go, 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 Gadget, go. Go, Gadget, go. All right, let's get you some college football. And have we got some score? We got scores? Wow. That's right. We got scores from game one, from week one games. Let's give them to you, kids. College football scores in week number one. Let's people our control room. And here we go, week one, and we have a game. Well, might as well say this is going to be a final. Memphis has defeated Arkansas State 37-24. Marshall whopped Eastern Kentucky. I don't even think they showed up for this one. 59-0. Army beat Middle Tennessee 42-0. We keep going. SMU beat Texas State in a normal game, 31-24. University of North Texas defeated Houston Baptist University 57-31. Stephen F. Austin lost to UTEP 24-14. Monday, it'll be BYU versus Navy on ESPN. We have a couple more finals to report to you. University of Alabama Birmingham defeated Central Arkansas 45-35. And South Alabama, in somewhat of a close game, defeated Southern Miss 32-21. That is week one in a nutshell in big old football game. Big old football game it was, wasn't it? Yes. Now, did we do the NBA scores? I think we did. Yeah, we did. Denver over the Clippers, 110. Toronto over Boston, 100-93. Now, everybody knows that Steve Nash is the Nets' new head coach, or Raja Bell had no idea Steve Nash was even thinking about it. When he told me, I was shocked. As anyone, Bell said. I didn't see it. It, in this case, is Nash being the new coach of the Brooklyn Nets. They hired him on Thursday and will officially introduce him in a Zoom press conference. He got his gig as here we go. Hang on. Okay, in this case, next week when Kevin Durant plays his first game for Brooklyn, Nash will be on the sidelines. Bell, now an analyst for CBS Sports, played with Nash for one season with the Mavericks and more than 3 with the Phoenix Suns. With some teammates, he said, "You just know." Eric Snow, the caretaker point guard who started next to Allen Iverson in Philadelphia, clearly had the personality to be a coach. Avery Johnson, nicknamed the Little General, carried himself like one in their respective final seasons on a roster. Both were unofficially part of the coaching staff. Well, that wasn't Nash's vibe. He thought the game like a coach and embodied the cliche that the point guard is an extension of the coach as much as anyone in NBA history. But it wasn't obvious that he chose a life of holding himself up in the office until the early hours, devouring game film. Before Nash even retired, he started a production company and became the general manager of Canada's national team. More recently, he got a gig as a soccer analyst for Turner Sports and dipped his toes back in basketball with some NBA on TNT interviews. Nash is a Hall of Famer and is close to universally beloved figure, as you'll find around the NBA. We'll have to point out that there are only 5 black head coaches in the league. Jacques Vaughn, who is black, coached an undermanned but spirited Nets squad in the bubble. He is now Nash's lead assistant. Nash has no coaching experience, save for a part-time role as a player development consultant with Golden State Warriors. Brooklyn is expected to compete for a championship right away with Durant and Kyrie Irving coming off injuries. Bell believes Nash will connect with Irving and get the most out of Durant. Good luck. He's going to need it. 3 here in the Rue de Lis. Well, it was fun. It was exciting. It was crazy with the threat of protest outside Churchill Downs and throughout Louisville. It was also one of concern. But still, the game went on. Authentic scored an upset win in the 146th running of the Kentucky Derby. By edging out Tiz the Law and holding off a late push from the heavy favorite. The win ties trainer Bob Baffert for the record of most horses trained to win the Kentucky Derby with 6. Authentic was up front right from the start, but as horses maintained their pace on the track, there was a sense that the favored Barkley Tag horse was just biding his time to snatch victory from a disadvantageous spot. It seemed to come on the final turn of the race as Tiz the Law sprinted its way up to second and started inching closer and closer to Authentic, but the late push ultimately wasn't enough as Tiz the Law was unable to make up the lengths necessary to overtake the leader. Even in the face of a surprise win, the result was almost business as usual for Baffert. The legendary trainer has now had 6 horses win the run for the Roses, which ties him for the record set by Ben Jones during his run as a trainer from 38 to 52. The results: number 18, Authentic, won $18.80, placed $6, show $5. Tiz the Law placed second for $3.40 and $3.20 to show, and Mr. Big News took $16.80. The $2 exacta of number 18, number 17. Well, if you chose those two, you won $41. Now for the dollar trifecta, 18, 17, and 9, you won $1,311.80. But if you got the superfecta, which was 18, 17, 9, and 16, you would have won a whopping $7,925.80. Of course, the tax man gets most of it. Makes you wonder why horse racing is that popular. Because half of that goes to taxes. And the tax man always waits at the cashier line for his cut of the winnings. 12:46 in the morning. We're on until about 1:14, 1:15. We're going to try to keep you informed as to what be in the world and realm of sports. That's right. We're keeping informed, kids. Aren't you glad you're here? I know I'm glad I'm here, and I show it. Okay, time now to scope it out and toss it out. It's time for baseball scores. And trust me, we don't bite on them either. That's right, we got baseball scores, and we're also going to give you other little bon mots of news, especially from Awful Announcing, and a look at All Out, the AEW pay-per-view. It was exciting, to say the least. Right now, we're going to get you some baseball scores. And in the fifth inning, Angels and Astros are tied at 4-6-2 for the Angels, 4-4-0 for the Stros. That's the bottom of the. No, that's top of the fifth. Thank you. And the Oakland Athletics beat the Padres. Final score is now 8-4, 8-11-1 for the Athletics, 4-11-1 for the Padres. Manea gets the win for the Athletics. He's 3-2. Paddock gets a loss for the Padres. He's 3-4. Nola, the catcher for San Diego, goes 2 for 4, gets a run, a homer, double, and an RBI. Manea, the pitcher, pitched 5 solid innings, gave up 4 hits, 1 earned run, 5 strikeouts, 1 walk. Cardinals beat the Cubs 4-2, 4-5-1 for the Cards, 2-6-1 for the Cubs. Wainwright gets the win for the Cardinals. He's 4-0. Alzolay gets the loss. He's 0-1. And Gallegos gets his third save for the Cards. Wainwright, pitcher for St. Louis, goes 6 1/3 innings. Gave up 6 hits, 2 earned runs, got 6 strikeouts and 1 walk. And Happ, the Chicago center fielder, well, he went 2 for 4, got 2 runs, 2 homers, and 2 RBIs. Marlins beat the Tampa Bay Rays 7-3, 7-8-0 for the Marlins, 3-6-1 for the Rays. Alcantara gets the win for the Marlins, for the Marlins. 2-1 is his record. Snell gets a loss for the Rays. He's 3-1, and Kinsler gets his 9th save. Perez, Tampa Bay catcher, went 3 for 4, got a double, and 3 runs batted in. Alcantara, the Miami pitcher, pitched 6 full, gave up 3 hits, 1 earned run, got 8 strikeouts, and 3 walks. Cincinnati Reds outlasted the Pittsburgh Pirates 6-2, 6-6-2 for the Reds, 2-7-1 for the Pirates. Garrett gets the win for the Reds. He's 1-0. Williams gets the loss for the Pirates. He's 1-6. Suarez, Cincinnati third baseman, goes 3 for 4, got 3 runs, 3 homers, and 5 RBIs. Garrett, the Cincinnati pitcher, went 1 1/3 innings, didn't give up a hit or an earned run, got 3 strikeouts and no walks. White Sox delved in and beat up on the Royals 5-3, 5-5-0 for the Sox, 3-6-1 for the Royals. Giolito gets the win for the Sox. He's 4-2. Bubic gets the loss for the Royals. He's yet to win. He's 0-5, and Colon gets his 9th save for the White Sox. Giolito, the Chicago White Sox pitcher, pitched 6 innings, got 5 hits, 3 earned runs, gave up 5 hits and 3 earned runs, got 9 strikeouts and no walks. Bubic, the Kansas City pitcher, pitched 7 full innings, 4 hits, 2 earned runs, 4 strikeouts, and 1 walk. Roma. Final score, the Angels over the Astros 10-9, 10-13-1 for the Angels, 9-12-0 for the Stros. Pena gets the win for the Angels. He's 3-0. Paradis gets the loss for the Astros. He's 1-2. Upton, the Angels left fielder, went 3 for 4, got 2 runs, a homer, 2 doubles, and 3 runs batted in. Trout, the center fielder for the Angels, went 3 for 3, 4 runs, a homer, 2 doubles, 2 RBIs, and a walk. The Indians beat the Brewers 4-3, 4-6-2 for the Indians, 3-9-1 for the Brewers. Hand, yes. He split the uprights 1-1 for the win. Hader still looking for a win. He's 0-1. Ramirez, Cleveland third baseman, went 2 for 4, got a run, a homer, and 2 RBIs. Civale, the Cleveland pitcher, pitched 6 full, gave up 5 hits, 2 earned runs, got 6 strikeouts, and 3 walks. Tigers had the lead, and a good pitcher in Skubal, but unfortunately, when it counted, Twins were a little too tough. They beat the Tigers this afternoon 4-3, 4-7-0 for Twins, 3-7-0 for the Tigers. Alcala got the win for the Twins. He's 2-1. Cisnero got the loss for the Tigers. He's 1-2. Players of the game, Maeda for Minnesota, the pitcher, pitched 6 full, gave up 2 hits, 3 earned runs. Got 8 strikeouts and 1 walk. Meanwhile, Skubal Tiger pitcher pitched 6 full innings, gave up 2 hits, 1 earned run, got 6 strikeouts and 2 walks. Mets overtake the Phillies 5-1, 5-9-1 for the Mets, 1-7-0 for the Phils. Lugo split the uprights twice for the Mets. He's 2-2. Howard goes off the deep end for the Phillies. In the loss, he's 1-2. Lugo, New York Mets pitcher, pitched 5 full innings, gave up 4 hits, 1 earned run, got 8 strikeouts and 2 walks. Jimenez, the New York Mets shortstop, went 2 for 2. 2 runs, 2 RBIs, and a walk. Nationals, the defending World Series champions, got a little revenge and redemption from the Atlanta Braves. They beat them 10-4, 10-14-0 for the Nats, 4-6-1 for the Bravos. McGowan gets win for the Nats. He's 1-0. Metzik gets loss for the Braves. He's 3-3 down. Holt, the Washington left fielder, went 4 for 5, 2 runs, 2 doubles, and an RBI. McGowan, the Washington pitcher, went 2-1 third innings. Didn't give up a hit or an earned run. Got 4 strikeouts and 1 walk. And wow, we got 6 more games. So let's run this till the cows come home. Moo. Red Sox over the Blue Jays, 9-8, 9-15-2 for the Red Sox, 8-16-1 for the Jays. Kickham got the win for the Sox. He's 1-0. Bass got the loss for the Blue Jays. He's 2-3. Hernandez, the right fielder for Toronto, went 3 for 5, got 3 runs, a homer, and 2 RBIs. And Mr. Guerrero, the first baseman for Toronto, went 1 for 3, 2 runs, a homer, 3 RBIs, and 2 walks. Orioles over the Yankees 6-1. Orioles 6-6-0. Yankees 1-6-1. Tate the winner. He's 1-0 for the Orioles. Cole the loser. He's 4-3 for the Yankees. Cole, the Yankee pitcher, pitched 6 innings, gave up 4 hits, 1 earned run, got 10 strikeouts and 2 walks. Meanwhile, Aiken, the Baltimore pitcher, pitched 5 1 third innings, gave up 3 hits, no earned runs, 8 strikeouts he got, and 4 bases and 4 walks he also got. Cardinals beat the Cubs 5-1, 5-6-0 for the Cards, 1-3-0 for the Cubs. Heisley got the win for the Cards. He's 1-0. Ray split the uprights for the Cubs. He's 1-1. O'Neill, the St. Louis left fielder, went 2 for 3, got 2 runs, a homer, a double, and 2 RBIs. Helsley, the St. Louis pitcher, went 1 third innings, gave up 1 hit, 1 earned run, got no strikeouts, plus he got a walk. Rockies over the Dodgers 5-2, 5-7-1 for the Rock, 2-6-1 for the Dodgers. Almonte is your winner for the Rockies. He's 2-0. Trinan got the loss for the Dodgers. He's 3-2, and the Bard came back and got his 5th save for the Rockies. Marquez for Colorado, the pitcher, 7 full innings, gave up 5 hits, 2 earned runs, got 5 strikeouts and 3 walks. Gonsolin, the LA Dodger pitcher, well, he did pretty good for himself. 6 innings, 3 hit, gave up 3 hits, 1 earned run, 8 strikeouts, and no walks. Mariners over the Rangers of Texas, 5-3, 5-10-0 for the Mariners, 3-10-0 for the Rangers. Gerber got the big win. He's 1-0. Hernandez suffers a loss, 5-1. And Ramirez gets his 2nd save for the Mariners. Chu for Texas, right fielder. True to good sock. He's 4-4, got a run, homer, and RBI. Sheffield, the Seattle pitcher, went 7 full innings, got hit for 8, gave up. I'll figure the word. Gave up 8 hits, 2 earned runs, got 6 strikeouts and 1 walk. Giants over the Diamondbacks 4-3, 4-9-0 for the Giants, 3-6-0 for the DBs. Barriger gets the win for the Giants. He's 4-1. Bumgarner gets nothing for his efforts. He's still winless. He's 0-4. And Watson gets his 1st save for the Giants. Watson, the pitcher for San Francisco, pitched 1 inning, gave up no hit, no earned run, didn't get a strikeout or a walk. Barriger, the San Francisco pitcher, pitched 1 1/3 innings, gave up a hit, no error, no earned run, 1 strikeout, and no walks. That's your baseball world as we know it. Glad you can be here for it. And what a day for NASCAR. Actually, if you're in the Xfinity series, that was a very, very vicious race indeed. And it came down to 2 racers. Denny Hamlin and Ross Chastain. Chastain and Hamlin went right at each other in the last few laps, battling for first place, as both started to tap the walls during the latter stages. Thank you. During the latter stages of excuse me, of the Xfinity race in the Darlington Xfinity race, the Sport Clips Haircuts VFW 200 Xfinity Series at Darlington Raceway. At the last lap, both Denny Hamlin and Ross Chastain both bounced the wall and hit each other out. And that gave Brandon Jones the green light to pass them both for the win. Chastain recovered from the contact with Hamlin, turned his 4th runner-up finish of the season, crossed 9.363 seconds behind Jones. Ryan Sieg, rookie Riley Herbst, and Hamlin rounded out the top 5. Rookie Harrison Burton, Noel Gragson, Michael Annett, Austin Hill, and rookie Myatt Snyder completed the top 10. Wow. They better replay that race on NBCSN. You thought the Kentucky Derby was wild. Okay, of course, tomorrow's race from Darlington is Under the Lights. You can see it on NBCSN. Good luck. Y'all gonna need it. Okay, that's your NASCAR look around the media bites. And trust me when I tell you what a media bite we got, we hope. All right, let's rack it and roll it. And here we go. Yes, indeed. We're going for this, and then we'll talk about the wrestling. Now, of course, you know we have to start with the NBA, and we do. And while ratings continue to suck, well, some people think, well, somebody's got to say it. And when Reggie Miller started trending on Twitter last night, it was easy to guess why. He'd said something that people were mocking. Maybe he tried to bring back a Kodak moment again, but no. Actually, it was something analysts related. Reggie, on the call for the Bucks and Heat with Kevin Harlan, accurately noted how difficult it is to actually challenge shooters in the modern NBA. Then he suggested that if his career was taking place now, he'd be averaging 45 points per game. So let's focus on the less obvious but very funny portion of this. Reggie Miller was a pioneer of drawing contact as a shooter. There's no escaping that. And he hit a Miller questioning fouls called while contesting jump shooters is a chef's kiss moment. The part about 45 points per game, though, it's hyperbole or hyperbole if you're down south. Miller averaged 18.2 points per game for his career, so obviously changing contact rules alone would not get him close to 45 per game, but clearly that wasn't meant to be serious. No. Miller was instead just making a point. Valid, too, considering his career 89% free throw percentage. Any additional trips to the line were basically, well, good meals. And in general, the more free-flowing offensive game played today would have certainly favored a scorer like Miller, as would the league's trend towards smaller lineups. But if Reggie really wants to find the modern evolution that would have greatly increased his scoring output, he should be focusing on three-point volume. Watching games from that era earlier this summer, it was obvious how reticent teams were to actually look for three-point attempts. Despite that, Miller retired with the most attempts and most makes, and he still sits in second place on both of those lists, trailing Ray Allen, who came a generation later. Looking at those lists, though, and it's obvious it's not going to take long for Miller and eventually Allen to be overtaken by a wave of players. Good luck. You're going to need it. Now, we talked about this earlier on Jay's Wrestle Anime Wrestle Anime Hut. Well, apparently the WWE is telling its wrestlers, cool it on third-party sites like Cameo and Twitch by October 2nd. And it looks like they mean it. In a letter sent to WWE talent, or as we like to call them, contract players, company CEO and resident scaredy cat, Vince McMahon, has notified its, we're not even going to call them pro wrestlers, we're just going to call them what they are, contractual talent, that they have 30 days to, quote, stop engaging with third parties, end quote, unaffiliated with the WWE. According to Wrestling Inc., WWE let the wrestlers know that it was important for people to stop using third-party platforms in order to, quote, promote and protect the brand in every conceivable way, end quote. Now, to earn some money during the COVID-19 pandemic, some pro wrestlers have taken to sites such as Cameo and Twitch, in addition to utilizing social media and, of course, YouTube, to reach out to fans and make a few extra bucks because the pandemic has resulted in a lack of live events. There's less opportunity for pro wrestlers to make money, and while that can be beneficial in some ways, as wrestlers are no longer on the road 300 days out of the year and can preserve their bodies by wrestling less often, a lack of events and ticket revenue is going to result in lower payouts after they exceed their yearly downside guarantee. While these social media accounts are typically unaffiliated with the WWE, some wrestlers have been able to showcase themselves in a way that gets them closer to fans and get over as performers. That's especially important at a moment when TV time on Raw, SmackDown, and NXT is so limited that a few wrestlers are consistently seen each week. Now, supporting yourself with a side job isn't exactly going to fly with McMahon and WWE, and they decide to bring the hammer down. Viewing these kind of interactions done on third-party sites are detrimental to WWE. The company is demanding wrestlers to stop using these sites by October 2nd, and they mean it. They will be subject to fines, suspensions, or terminations at WWE's discretion. Now, while this is going to end up being a very unpopular mandate among fans and wrestlers, WWE could argue that they have the right to do this in order to protect their intellectual property. It's one thing for a wrestler to start a Twitch channel to interact with fans while playing Madden, but if that leads to someone using their WWE character name to promote a product that's direct competitor to one of WWE's sponsors, one of their wrestlers revealing he had COVID-19, that's something the WWE is not going to like. That, or in a more business-minded scenario, if someone is using their WWE character name to make money on something that's unaffiliated by the WWE, the company may feel entitled to a cut of the profits. Now, at the same time, this further blurs the line of what an independent contractor is and how a company like WWE can make requirements of them. WWE professional wrestlers are not employees, they're independent contractors. WWE wants to keep their wrestlers as independent contractors so that they don't have to provide benefits like health insurance. But unlike typical freelance deals, a WWE contract usually keeps them from working elsewhere unless they have permission from the company. WWE can and should protect their intellectual property, but if that results in denying working professionals the right to work and make money in non-WWE circles, then guess what? They're not freelancers. Andrew Yang tweeted, Quote, if I'm not the Secretary of Labor, I'm pretty confident I'll have his or her number to talk about the ridiculous classification of WWE wrestlers as independent contractors while controlling their name and likeness for years, even for something as benign as Cameo. Well, some wrestlers have already made changes to their third-party accounts. Multiple wrestlers on Cameo have either already used their real name or they just recently changed the account to be under their real name. Paige, who is retired but remains under contract to WWE, changed username for her Twitch channel to her real name and now makes no further reference to WWE. It remains to be seen that if doing that will be enough to satisfy the WWE, especially as the company reportedly said they owned real names of their wrestlers as well. Although that has since been disputed. While you could probably take WWE to court over some of these demands, suing them pretty much means you're not appearing on TV anytime soon, even if you're in the right. The mandate still seems somewhat vague, but maybe that's something WWE prefers. That gives the WWE the latitude to pick and choose who is in the clear and who isn't, which allows them to exert more control over their wrestlers. It might not be fair or consistent, but if we were looking at what was fair in the WWE, the wrestlers would have been considered employees a long time ago. They would have had a union. Then what would have happened? I believe in free speech, and I believe WWE is wrong in this account. All right. I do believe we are near kaput on the broadcast. Once again, we started this at 1:10. I mean, not 1:10, at 12:10. We're going to end it at 1:10. And I get to say it. Here we go. Want to say hi to all my friends on Facebook, Twitter, and the Gram, and also on Twitch. Thanks, everybody, for watching. That is going to wrap it up for us tonight. It has been fun. It's been exciting. We still got some sports to talk about. We'll do so tomorrow night, same time. I guess, same. I guess we'll be on time Sunday. I'll have to find out. Anyway, we'll see you then. I'm Steve the Baxman Baxley for everyone here at L2C Sports. Oh, by the way, you may have noticed we changed name, updated the logo. We're no longer the L2C Sports Final. We're just mainly the Sports Final. I figure, what the hell? Gotta earn a living some way, don't we? So, welcome everybody. If we didn't say it earlier, we say it now. Welcome to the Sports Final. And that's a final from us. For those of you who love your sports, may your favorite team always be winners. Good night, America, wherever and whomever you are. I'll see you tomorrow night on another edition of the Sports Final. Good night, everybody. And blessings.